what I'm going to work on tonight, I'm going to work on the Outlaw. I've been abusing this thing. I actually did work on it a little last Friday evening. Finally just got some bracing made for the cradle down here. Put these bars in here. This bar down in here. Yeah. So that'll brace this cradle up. So hopefully if it lands on the rear, it don't bend. Lots of things to do. I'm not going to bore you guys watching me put the transmission back in it again. You saw me take it in and out on other videos. I'm going to put some paint on the cradle. Put the transmission in. The injectors are over here. They're back from getting worked on. But anyhow, I got to put the injectors back in the motor. I'm going to pull a radiator out. Should have did that a long time ago. Going to have this top fitting welded up on it. This thing right here, I can't come up with a cap to stay on that. I mean, everything I come up with is hokey and rinky dink, and I don't like it. So we're just going to weld that port shut on the radiator. Then we got to bleed the brakes, and then we can maybe get it out and run. But I'm going to work tonight, not video. Next time, you guys will see. It'll have some updates done, and I'll show you what we're doing further. I have been waiting to move this truck like all winter. This thing has been like plugging the whole shop up. Tonight's the night. We're going to try to drag this thing out and make it fire again. It's a 12 valve Cummins. Hopefully it'll run. I'll go over a little overview of what we did real quick. Just a reminder. Put a new seat in it. Floor pan. Extended that out. Remounted the pedals. New hot shot. Hot foot. Throttle pedal right there. That should be cool. Mounted the batteries up here. I hooked cables up the other day. Got those all hooked up. I have new shocks for it, which I haven't put on yet. We might take it out and jump it one more time and then switch shocks so we can compare again. Transmission's in. Michael Landis diesel down there, went through the training for me. Had burned up direct clutches, which was just pure abuse. We weren't nice to it last year, so it is what it is. But trans is in. I think everything's hooked up with that. Probably need to add a little fluid. Guillotine's still off, the turbo, no big deal. I had my cousin Sean that helped with the engine equalizer and helps me whenever I need it. He welded the this top intercooler, or this top radiator up here. He welded a patch over that port right there that kept blowing a cap off and leaking last year. So I put that on, filled it up with water. Transfer case is in. Rear drive shaft hooked up. Front drive shaft still out of it. There's kind of a reason for leaving the front drive shaft out, but I'll show you guys that hopefully. This girl sounds like a John Deere tractor because the muffler's blowed out, but it's got a lot of options and I like it. So we're gonna drag the monster outside so we don't smoke the shop up and see if we can make this 12 valve Cummins run again. So here's the thing, we also put a new power steering pump on it last fall over here, and I modified the reservoir this winter, put a bigger feed line on the reservoir. So this line right here is like twice the size it was. I had a fitting welded on that. I put a rollover valve up here for a breather so it wouldn't slosh out hopefully. So we'll have air in that's what I'm getting at. And the other thing is, we had the injectors refreshed, so it doesn't have any fuel to the injectors right now. So I'm gonna have to hold it to the floor, full fuel it, try to get fuel to the injectors, maybe hit ether button a couple times. Hopefully it cracks off. Then I'm gonna have to add more training fluid to it as it's running, because that's how these work. These Dodge transmissions, like a lot of transmissions, they need to be running most of the time in neutral, but they make these aftermarket valve bodies are to where they flow even in park, so you can check your fluid as long as it's running. So let's see if she runs. I don't know. So it's got really good oil pressure, that's good news. I'm just gonna check for leaks. I don't see any major leaks around the injectors or anything, so that's awesome. So now I'm going to start tinkering with the tranny, adding some oil and stuff. Add another gallon of fluid to it. Now I'm going to cycle the transmission and see how it is. It probably need more, but hey, a gallon's a gallon. More fluid. So I think I finally got the transmission topped off. I'm gonna take it out in here somewhere, spin it around a couple times, bring it back and put it in the shop because it's getting ready to rain again. And I don't know why that happens when I go to do this stuff. So the front steering evidently bled itself. It worked freaking awesome. That's the best it's worked. And the throttle pedal is really nice in the cab now. It's much easier to control. So that was pretty pleasant for a first go around. Then we're gonna get this thing out and we're gonna throw it down somewhere because we got some Fords to beat this year. Yep. So when I took that monster out for a cruise a little bit ago, it wasn't shifting out of whatever gear. I'm guessing first gear in the transmission. Had reverse, everything seemed good. What I narrowed it down to is there's a speed sensor in the tail shaft of the transmission. Looks like this right here. And I beat that thing up every time I put that trans in and out of that truck. I'm guessing that speed sensor went bad. So I'm gonna go down there and change this. I don't know if I'm gonna get it back out tonight, but I'm gonna see if it shifts again at some point. So it's dark, you guys won't be able to see it, but you got to keep track of these speed sensors when you got an anteater controlling the transmission in a monster truck like that. So I got the monster out here, backed it out, put that speed sensor in it, made a mess on the floor, drove it around, didn't do anything different. That's awesome. So I guess tomorrow we're going to figure out what its problem is, hopefully. Bevy's going to come in, we're going to hook the laptop to it and see if it's commanding. It's got to see output shaft speed through that speed sensor, and it's got to see governor pressure in the transmission itself and the valve body. So hopefully we figure out it's not seeing one of those, but either way we're probably gonna have to make a mess to fix it, but it is what it is. Part of monster trucking. Stay tuned. Well, I got Ron's help. We're gonna put the body back on this old girl, get it looking like a truck again. So we got the body on. We're gonna go finish bolting it down. That's a boring job. You guys don't need to see it. But when we get these out to do some testing, we'll show you guys what's up.
What's up, guys? Ron, Brian and Bevy are out here doing some testing with the transmission on the Outlaw. So let's see what they're doing.
Fun. Me and Bevy fit in there awesome. So now we get to pull the harness on the transmission, see if we got voltage to the top of it or not. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Bevy, how was your ride?
Tight. It's a little cramped in here with this new big seat. And I don't have Hunter's car seat in there, so
less than ideal.
So as you saw, we had the monster truck out. It didn't shift. Bevy rode around with me, figured out governor pressure issue. Supposedly, the Fire Punk Anteater transmission controller isn't reading any governor pressure. So I put a transducer in the valve body. I haven't got it out yet, so watch the next video. You'll know if it shifts or not. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.